You know, it's not every day somebody who I previously did a video on and showed they didn't know what they were talking about regarding a variety of things does a video claiming that you shouldn't take anyone seriously on politics if they didn't know something once years ago. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, this involves BadEmpanada once again. You see, he made a video basically compiling a bunch of clips of Vosh not knowing things and making fun of them, which would be fine on its own, except he then uses that to say that Vosh can never be taken seriously about anything ever again because he made a mistake several years ago. Communist Creeper did a video making fun of this because it was fucking stupid. And BadEmpanada made a response, which is what I'm going to be covering. Highlights include BadEmpanada finding tweets that are obviously jokes and using them as evidence that Vosh is pro-NATO.
We must not rest until every country on Earth belongs to NATO. What's a three-word phrase someone can say that makes you instantly lose all respect for them? I oppose NATO. NATO was created to spread socialism and protect the rights of working people everywhere. NATO is anarchist.
You know, I could be wrong here, but I don't think Vosh was being entirely serious when he created the anarcho-communist NATO flag. He also shows Vosh talking to a commander of NATO, as well as him debating somebody on the Russia-Ukraine war.
Vosh talking to NATO Special Operations Officer. America bad, Russia good? No, America sometimes good.
The first of which just being what any reasonable political commentator would do. Yeah, if a former NATO Special Operations Officer calls into your show to talk about NATO, you let him talk. That's just obvious if you're running a politics-based series. And the second of which, again, just being him supporting Ukraine. And Creeper never denied that Vosh was pro-Ukraine. He explicitly said that in a clip you played earlier in the video.
So, Vosh is pro-NATO in the sense that he is pro NATO siding with Ukraine.
Also, BadEmpanada repeatedly tries to frame Communist Creeper as nothing more than a Vosh sycophant.
438,000 impressionable young children who basically hang on his every word, including this fucking guy, I'm sure. It's like a sort of introverted, 11-year-old kid who, is just awed by Vosh because he says dumb shit very confidently and just has to defend him no matter what. They want to, worship the political streamer as, their referent for all of their political opinions, a know-it-all who's right about everything, who destroys his opponents.
Best as I can tell, for no other reason than because he thought one attack on Vosh was kind of dumb. Or how about this part, where BadEmpanada compares what Vosh did to Gary Johnson not knowing what Aleppo is, which, okay, but then he adds this part.
Like an American presidential candidate who doesn't know what Aleppo is. A big city in a conflict that the US is actively involved in. That is the same level, or actually no, Vosh is even worse because he has incredibly strong opinions on these things, specifically regarding NATO.
Never mind that Gary Johnson must have felt confident in his opinions if he felt like he should become president and therefore have the political power needed to implement his policies. Fuck, even in that interview, Johnson goes on to confidently describe his plans for Syria, again, like a presidential candidate would.
With regard to Syria, I do think that it's a mess. I think that the only way that we deal with Syria is to join hands with Russia to diplomatically bring that at an end. But when we've aligned ourselves with when we've supported the opposition, the Free Syrian Army is also coupled with the Islamists, and then the fact that we're also supporting the Kurds, and it's just a mess, and that this is the result of regime change that we end up supporting, and inevitably, these regime changes have led to a less safe world.
I could go on, but honestly, all I need to say is this. BadEmpanada said that Vosh didn't know something years ago. Creeper admits that, but says that Vosh could have since learned that thing, and therefore him previously not knowing it actually isn't all that important nor interesting. BadEmpanada responds by just kind of calling him a Vosh fanboy for 10 minutes. Seriously, there's not even really any other arguments here outside of just repeating the original point, plus the occasional declaration of his fanboyism for Vosh, which, even if it were true, wouldn't actually debunk anything Creeper said. So that's all I'm going to say. Good night and good luck.